Sudha Murthy, born in 1950 in Shaggon in Northern Karnataka, India. The daughter of the physician Dr. S.R. Kulkarni, Murthy and her siblings were raised by her parents and the maternal grandparents. Her childhood experiences form the historical basis for her first notable work entitled How I Taught My Grandmother to Read and Other Stories. Later, in the memory of her maternal grandparents, two institutions of higher learning, the HR Kadam Diwan Building housing the Computer Science and Engineering CSE department at IIT Kanpur and the Narayana Rao Melgiri Memorial National Law Library at NLSIU were endowed and inaugurated by the Infosys Foundation. Murthy completed a BE in Electrical Engineering from the BVB College of Engineering and Technology, standing first in her class and receiving a gold medal from the Chief Minister of Karnataka. Thereafter, she completed an ME in Computer Science from the Indian Institute of Science, standing first in her class and receiving a gold medal from the Indian Institute of Engineers. After graduation, Murthy became the first female engineer hired at India's largest auto manufacturer, Tata Engineering and Locomotive Company or Telco. Murthy had applied to the company and was told that only men were eligible to apply. She wrote to the then company chairman J.R.D. Tata complaining of the gender bias at Telco. As a result, she was granted special interview, found eligible and hired immediately. She met N.R. Narayana Murthy while employing as an engineer at Telco in Pune. Later, Narayana Murthy moved to Patni Computers. He and Sudha got married in February 1978. Sudha made many personal sacrifices while her husband set up Infosys along with other 5 others. While reminiscing about the tough times, she says, Murthy was always broke. He always owed me money. We used to go for dinner and he would say, I don't have money with me. You pay my share, I will return it to you later. For 3 years, I maintained a book of Murthy's debts to me. No, he never returned the money and I finally tore it up after a wedding. The amount was a little over rupees 4,000. Infosys was Narayana Murthy's dream. Sudha provided the seed money of rupees 10,000 to help Infosys get started. Its first office was in Pune. Infosys operated out of the house that Sudha and Narayana Murthy had purchased with the help of a loan. She took up a job with Volchan Industries to support the growth of Infosys. She is currently the chairperson of Infosys Foundation as well as the seed investor behind Infosys and the venture capital firm Catamaran Ventures. She was involved in the development of Infosys Technologies Limited in various capacities and later worked as head Department of Computer Science in a reputed college of Bangalore University. In 1996, she co-started in Infosys Foundation and till date has been the trustee of Infosys Foundation. She is also visiting professor at the PG Center of a reputed college of Bangalore University. She is the chairperson of the Infosys Foundation and a member of public health care initiatives of the Gates Foundation. She has founded several orphanages, participated in rural development efforts, supported the movement to provide all Karnataka government schools with computer and library facilities, and established the Murthy Classical Library of India at Harvard University. In 2004, Murthy was presented with the Rajalakshmi Award in recognition of her outstanding contribution to social work by the Sri Rajalakshmi Foundation in Chennai. In 2006, Murthy was awarded the Padma Shri, the 4th highest ranking civilian award from the Government of India, and received an honorary doctorate for her contributions in the sphere of social work, philanthropy and education, and the Narayana Murthy Award for literature as well. In 2011, Sudha Murthy and Justice Santosh Hegde were conferred honorary LLD Doctor of Laws degrees for their contributions to promoting formal legal education and scholarship in India. Murthy is a prolific author of fiction. She has published several books that spell out her views on charity, hospitality, and self realization through fictional narratives. How I Taught My Grandmother to Read and Other Stories has been translated into 15 languages, including English, Hindi, and Assamese. Other notable books by her are Wise and Otherwise, Old Man and His God, and Gently Falls the Bakula. Sudha Murthy is a woman of many talents. At 62 and grandmother twice over, she shows no signs of slowing down. Behind her often stern, no nonsense appearance and down to earth demeanor, there lies a fun person with an impish sense of humor. Some excerpts from an interview with Purba Dutt of the Times Group are given below. What does writing mean to you? I have been writing for 30 years now, but the writing bug first bit me when I was in college. For me, there is no better way to express myself. There are stories that crowd my mind and are waiting to be pushed out and be written. I am a storyteller at heart. For someone who is talkative and outgoing like you, writing must be a tough discipline. When I am writing, I shut myself away from everything else. This talkative person in front of you retreats into a total silence. I do not interact with anyone. It's a complete immersion into the project. Think of a samadhi and you will get the picture. Who better than you to pen Mr. Murthy's biography? How can I ever do that? I am his wife and friend. When you write someone's biography, it has to be completely unbiased. Both Murthy and I are determined not to have our biographies written, at least not officially. Talk about Sudha, the mother-in-law. You have to ask my son-in-law and daughter-in-law about that. My latest book, The Day I Stopped Drinking Milk, has been dedicated to Rishi and Lakshmi, my son-in-law and daughter-in-law respectively. I tell them that they do not have to make any adjustments for us. It is we, the older generation, who should be making the adjustments. Let's never forget that we have had our innings and it's now time for them to start and open theirs. We should make way for the youngsters instead of expecting them to come around to our ways. Your husband is reticent to the point of being self-evasive. You are an incorrigible extrovert. How does it work so well between the two of you? That old physics law of attraction of opposites. Besides, I need to have a listener and Murthy is the perfect listener. I realized early on that he is a man of few words and that I should make my peace with it. Marriage works well if you don't have grand expectations from each other. I talk, he listens, and it works. Murthy may be economical with words, but he's a very giving person. Apart from writing and your philanthropy work, what are your other interests? I like to walk, I like to climb, travel is a passion too. Then there is foodie in me who loves to try out different vegetarian cuisines. What are the things that are non-negotiable in the Murthy household? Respect for elders. Touching of elders' feet is a must. And the other rule that can never be broken is that there will be no non-vegetarian and alcohol presence or consumption inside the house. The best thing about being Narayana Murthy's wife and the worst? It's because of Murthy that I could give wings to my philanthropy work. I would never have the money to go about it in such a big way. I have emulated him, including his compassion. The worst is not being able to remain anonymous when I want to. Sometimes I wish to have a cup of tea on the roadside, but the fear of being recognized puts paid to my plans.